sit back and try and scale as much as possible draft with the Victor, with the Sivir. And I'm not sure how I feel about it, because you look at Victor and Sivir, they're very immobile, and then you have to deal with an Azir shuffle, a Alistar jumping in on top of you, the Lee Sin coming in on a flank and kicking you into the middle of their team, and then this Irelia. So I think this is very difficult composition for Dewish team to pull off.
Yeah, I agree. They have a lot of mobility, but not as much in terms of straight. If CFO decides to run at your face, I mean, Silver's dead. She can pop her R and run away, but CFO just have so diving tips available with the Cow, with the Lee Sin, with the Irelia also. And I think CFO also have that little out that they have built in for them in the draft, where even if Rest does fall behind, they've still got Azir, they've still got Zeri, who have the ability to carry in the team fights later on also. So even if Gemini doesn't pay as much attention over to the top side this time around, I think CFOs still have that out available for them if Rest falls behind.
Yeah, and we'll see how these lanes do play out. Gnar, I believe, has been 4-0 with or in games involving Dewish teams. So they won the one game that they picked it, and then they lost the 3 that the other team did pick against them. So maybe it's just going to be luck of the Gnar.
Luck of the Gnar, I love that. But yeah, as you're saying, big counterintuitive draft for Dewish team this time around. I think when we're talking about how Dewish team usually tends to win their games, especially in summer split, it's usually when they get that like early to mid game snowball where they kind of put a bunch of pressure early on, especially in the lanes, and then they try to carry that through into a match of victory. The thing for CFO is that overall a lot of their members are pretty strong laners, although I'd say like one of their maybe small weaknesses that you do see this a bit when they go up versus the top tier teams is that even if they do get an advantage in lane because of how strong the laners are, sometimes they don't punish this as hard. So I think that might be a little outlet of opportunity for DWT to try and capitalize. But I mean, just purely looking at stats, looking at the matchup, of course this is like one of the top teams on the table versus one of the bottom teams on the table. It's tied second place versus 9th place. But if DWT want to try and win, that's probably their best bet.
Yeah, and already Gemini making a deep invade. WSL is going to face check into him. It's going to be a level 1 trade. I mean, it's level 1, 1v1, so it's not going to amount to an actual kill. However, it might force WSL to recall, and if that's the case, that's actually massive because he's going to lose a lot of time here.
He has to recall because Xin Zhao like drops a lot of health on his first clear. Oh my god, he's just going to pop potions and stay. This is a terrible level 1 start for them, especially versus a Lee Sin. But,
yeah,
I mean,
the fact that Lee Sin was able to get there is that feels like it's the real big crux of how it all went down. Like the fact that he was able to get there that fast and WSL just didn't see him, that leads to be a very big detriment for the side of Dewish team at the start of this game.
Exactly, you really don't want to give the early team free reign in the early game to roam around, especially because you're kind of expecting the level 3, the level 4 Q from the side lane into the gank already, so you don't want to give him the freedom to just do as he wants early on, you know? Meanwhile, bottom side, not all that much going on for now, being to, of course, you did start the call. So it's just gonna want to be waiting for a bit before he really starts as useful. The thing with the Sivir changes on 12-13 is that she can actually poke more early on. The thing with her in the past was that if she uses her Q, her W, she tends to lose a lot of mana early. She needs to count on hitting level 3 for the spell shield and then getting hit by abilities to get the mana refund to then continue using QW to poke in the lane. The thing for right now is that on this patch, her mana costs have gone down. Sure, the cooldowns are a bit longer for her projectiles, but like she's able to really just throw them out a bit more. There's Gemini once again with the invade. He's already got
to be a smite fight.
Put another one.
It will be a smite fight, and WSL loses it, but he goes in for the trade.
That's
Won't
the tilt.
actually stick onto him, and that's part of really just how the lanes are set up, right? You have shoving mid, you have shoving bot. If you try and take the fight and beyond that smite fight, the backup's going to be there coming in from CFO a little bit sooner. So WSL misses out, and that will be a buff stolen away. And I mean, Gemini on a trademark Lee Sin, but WSL looking for a gank in the mid lane. Mission doesn't have much change.
He has no
doesn't have meta.
Their only flash.
Okay,
so he just he makes out that one with just the flash. I think that was very well played from Dewish team. I'm not sure if Mission really wanted to be positioning so far forward at that point in time, because he did know the WSL was coming from his own jungle blue buff right by mid lane. So maybe a bit of arrogance right there in terms of positioning. And yeah, I mean, before that, he was actually doing pretty well in the lane matchup. He was doing the traditional Ezreal thing, which is you're pretty much trading your own mana bar for the enemy's health bar. If you consistently use like your sand soldiers, use them to pull, use your abilities, then Victor, especially early on, is going to have a bit of a hard time to dodge that. Victor really needs to land his Q in lane to try and match up with the poke. And we've seen a couple times, this second time already, where like Mission just absolutely takes no damage from the Victor Q. So it's still going pretty even. As expected, we did see Looking just now doing a bit of damage down onto Rest. Rest with a very defensive start also. And it looks like Gemini might be pathing top actually. Try and help out his Irelia perhaps.
Well, I mean, it does look like they're going to try and set up for an early dragon here. Because he's going to take Gromp, Wolves, and then path towards the dragon. However, WSL looks like he wants to just sprint straight to that dragon. So maybe we'll see some sort of early action around this bot side. We're going to see recalls coming in from Shun. That means he's going to get a purchase, and then Rank 2 low on mana, so it will be difficult for them to actually try and make a play around Dragon. CFO should have first dibs.
Koala with the early roam also on level 4, so he knows that actually until he hits level 6, he's not as big of a threat over to Shun if Shun is playing safe. So Koala just making use of Shun's back timing right there to get a little extra bit of vision in the river to set up for the dragon. So just very smart play, I think, coming out from Koala, I believe. Top lane. The level 6 fight.
Kunai does get the pin into the wall, and it's going to be a big chunk of damage, but that's really all it's going to end up being here, and maybe it's going to allow Lakunai to make his way all the... he could get cut off. It's going to take the honey fruit, but there are a lot of people behind him, so if he shows up in lane, he will no doubt get ganked by Gemini and Koala. But right now it does look like they are setting up for a mid dive, but the issue is Xiaotu started walking bot lane. He went to go get the honey fruit down there, so CFO don't quite have a play available to him until now. They're setting up for the dive up here. Lakunai is stacking up the Gnar bar, so they have to make this dive happen really quickly, and they do catch him out even with the flash coming in from Lakunai. That will be first blood, but in exchange, Dewish team find themselves that first dragon. So I think both teams do get what they want. Of course, for CFO, they want to snowball this Irelia. And on the flip side, Dewish team, they want to try and get some of those dragons stacked up early on.
Exactly. So both teams are pretty happy with this trade. I think for Dewish team, they have the added bonus of Herald not being up yet because this is pre-8 minutes. So even though CFO do get the first blood gold onto the Irelia, they aren't able to then rotate over and also pick up the Herald. So I think Dewish team gonna be pretty happy with that one.
WSL could get caught out. He is level 6. Will throw down the ultimate and will get shoved back by the shuffle. And now it's just him being able to sidestep, but not a lot of sidestep happening here as Gemini just dashes to a ward. Doesn't even make it difficult for himself. So even with the level difference, it will be Gemini securing that kill.
You know, CFL are playing this so smart because a lot of teams, when they play versus Mission, what a lot of team strategy is to try and keep Mission down, try and keep ganking him. And if like for the Chinese broadcast, there's like a running joke where if Mission gets out of laning phase and into the team fight and he's not more than 0-3, CFL have won. So that's like the running joke on the desk for the CFL games. I think a lot of teams will always try to consistently gank mid lane, and CFO by now they for sure know what's up, and they're actually using Mission as a bait to try and draw attention from Dewish team. When they try to gank Mission, they've got Gemini over there to make sure that it doesn't end bad for them. So if that's what they're really doing, then this is just absolute genius, and I love it.
Yeah, right now CFO very comfortable with how things are going, and Xiaotu gets jumped on and will get kicked back, and Mission secures yet another assist. I was about to say kill, but kill credit goes over to Gemini, and because of that kill, it also means that they're going to get first dibs on this Rift Herald. And how does go for the flash belly slam, and if the belly slam landed, definitely would have changed into the ultimate, but shouldn't.
His mechanics
in 1v2,
so
but Koala on the
has
way.
six.
Not
He
quite
doesn't
level
have
6, but he can still look for the flash engage
this
here.
is so risky because Gragas has ultimate though. He's just really trying to get a whole bunch of long range focus down. Bang 2, his only option is to just kind of throw a couple of Qs behind him and leave, but it's not going to do as much damage. So good play from Shlin. Also Koala as well will want to circle with more experience, hit that 6. WSL once again waiting in the wings.
WSL is spending a lot of time here, and we've seen this happen before where he ends up taxing the XP coming in from Lakunai, and that might be yet another one of these instances, as Rest does feel like he knows what's up. He's already pinged the question mark into that top push, and it really just comes down to how long is WSL willing to wait, and the answer is not long enough, as now Lakunai, he's going to be in trouble because of the fact he doesn't have the Gnar bar stacked up, and it could still be a dive set up. Here is... Nope, it's just going to be a recall, and now... Okay.
Yeah, Gemini's just...
Surprise!
Oh, no! Lock it off, lock it off. You got this, you got this. He's pretty tanky kill. So, it does look like, yeah, he's gonna head back to base. He does hit level 6, but I think at this point CFO don't think that it's worth it. Also, WSL is maybe be pathing towards bot. A couple of aggressive movement from DWT though. They are actually in the tri-bush. They don't quite know that Gemini is actually close to them. However, Mission once again pathing mid. WSL might be able to make something happen.
Yeah, looks like we're going to have more action into this mid lane. Mission shoving up very aggressively. Gemini may get spotted, may get jumped on, but it will be Gemini initiating the fun as he goes in, kicks him back, and chases onto WSL, and WSL will go down yet again. Rift Herald gets popped. They're going to zone Xiaotu off of this wave, as Enhao now in this mid lane to support. It's not going to be enough though, as it will be plates going over to Mission, plenty of extra gold, and now they've really sectioned off the map. Bang 2 has to be a little bit careful here, as Gemini and Koala are making their way over, but on the flip side, Raz taking a 1v1, will flash forward, gets the dash, and will be able to finish off that 1v1 kill.
Yeah, Rest has been doing such a good job actually early on in playing around the Gnar Rage Bar. This time around, the Gnar, even though he did have Mega, it did not matter at all. And Mission, as you were talking about, picking up so much tower plate gold earlier, is just gonna be a bit aggressive actually. Knows he's got some teammates to protect him around the side. They aren't going to take first brick just yet, but if you just take a look at the gold and EXP difference across the board, CFO, they're 5 kills to 0. They're pretty much making it out at 12 minutes with a 4.5k gold lead. Xiaotu's level 9, Mission, I'm not sure if he's level 11, he's 10 right now. It was level 10 to level 8.
They really want
Xiaotu overcommitting. They do.
They indeed do. They've got 3 people on the chase. The stun does land. Rest will die, but it's just a matter of could he take anyone with him? It doesn't happen.
Yeah, the answer is
WSL
no. I mean, Res does have teleports, so it's actually not that bad because he hasn't been pushed out of lane yet, even though we're 13 minutes in. We're gonna take a look at the 1v1.
Yep, 1v1 happens, and I mean, this is why Irelia is such a strong pick into the Gnar. You just have so much all-in
Oh,
pressure,
yeah, look,
and
Lacune also didn't have a wave to get the bounce off of on the way out either, so unfortunate. Even though he did have Mega, but well played by Rest. He's kind of at the stage where he's already capable of winning the 1v1. He's got the bit of the Rune King completed as well as the Steel Caps. So,
thank you going in.
Gemini, he's dead.
Be a kill. That's a big shutdown picked up, but now Koala flashes forward, does get the CC landed onto Bang 2, but solid disengage coming in from and now on the flip side, it will be a 2v1 situation. Rest trying to make it out. It's not going to be enough though, as the chase is there, and Dewish team find an opening and are able to bite back. Oh, however, Xiaotu gets shoved in, forced to use his flash. Now throws down his ultimate.
No.
Chaos Storm is going to put down a lot of damage onto Mission, but it's not going to be enough, as Mission will be able to just walk it off. However, it is oh, okay.
What?
He flashes forward and trades 1-for-1.
That's a durability patch right there. 3 patches ago, for sure, Mission would have 100% made it out of that one. But I mean, he was replaying. I don't think he's too upset about that. He did still buy a bunch of time to get his passive tower over on the mid-tier 1. Oh, sorry, I have to look at the Rest 1v2. Not quite working out for him up top. He had some pretty limited options in terms of where to dash. He's kind of forced to dash towards red side instead of back towards his own minion wave, so a bit unfortunate. Definitely well done from Dewish. The thing is, I'm not really sure how worth it is for DWT to focus so much energy trying to keep Rest down, because at this point already, I mean, what? He's still got 1 kill, he's still up about 25 CS off of the Gnar, so maybe they can look to try and focus their jungle attention elsewhere. But talking about jungle attention, this Gemini once again just invades all day, every day. The roam with Koala, just absolute good timing from the squad of CFO, and it looks like they're going to get Lacuna as well as top tier 1.
Yep, they will get top tier 1. And Lacuna, yes, he was in somewhat of precarious position, but Enhao is around, which means that he is a-okay. And now for the side of Dewish team, they've really split themselves up. They're trying to set up sort of a 1-3-1 just to recoup as much gold as possible. They have Xiaotu in that bot lane trying to catch up and farm. He's so far behind the curve when you compare him to the first strike Azir, right? The Azir already has a farm lead, was able to find a bunch of plates, and able to farm a little bit of extra gold with the first strike. It is just such a large lead.
Yeah, it's actually getting quite worrying when you take into account the item builds and the patch that we're on for Sivir right now, because Victor, of course, he's gone Luden's Echo first, and then Sivir, as we were talking about, is a bit more bursty on this patch than she used to be. And the thing is, though, if Dewish team are going to play that way, they're not really going to be able to burst down CFO. I mean, Mission already has the lead, Zeri's got the zoomies, you can't quite pin her down. Gemini's just been invading the entire game, so I'm not sure if Dewish team have a lot of options left based off of the composition that they've drafted, but we will see. We did say that their strength was going to be in their team fights, the combination of the Gnar and the Gragas, as well as the Sinjao to create space. So maybe they can find that 5v5, even though traditionally 5v5 has not quite been their strength.
Yeah, when it comes to full 5v5 execution, they've been a little bit lackluster. However, at the same time, the scaling is going to be there for them, right? You have Sivir, one of the classic win conditions has been Sivir to 300 CS. And, well, Bang 2 is halfway there. And he has been farming relatively well. 10 per minute, you know, pretty good. However, at the same time, for CFO, they're just farming better. So even though Bang 2 is farming well, look at the flip side. Shun is at 190 CS, almost at 200 CS before 20 minutes. And Mission, of course, he is doing a big number himself. That will be bot tier 2 to go down. So CFO right now out to a 5k gold lead. And it's not even that their scaling is all that bad either. So this is definitely a scary situation.
Yeah, I think CFL have been playing this very textbook, very methodolocal. They're pretty much just winning lane. And CFL are not really the type of team to hard win lane into the team fight. I think it's really just because that they're playing up against Dewish team this time around that they have such a lead coming out of the laning phase. And we've been talking about how Dewish team, they want to scale, they want to get the silver to 300 CS, they want the team fight. CFO, though, have pretty good team fight of their own with the Azir as well as Oyster combo. I mean, sure, you've got Aurelia, you've got Lee Sin, you think, oh, maybe they might fall off towards the late game, but you've also got Shun playing this Zeri, which is absolutely huge, right? If you want 180 carry right now in the PCS, who's capable of doing the zoomies, getting its fast speed, making sure he plays around positions and team fight well, then hands down, it's gotta be Shun. So I'm a bit worried for Dewish team now that we're approaching the team right now. And oh, Gemini again, the invade!
CFO once again just trying to choke out Dewish team from their own jungle, and they will be successful. And yeah, just going back towards that Shun point you made, right? The fact that he is 0-0-0, yet he still has a 250 gold bounty. That is truly disgusting. Yeah, it just shows how much gold he's been able to amass without really doing a whole lot as far as getting involved in the game. He is all by himself, but he's also Zeri. So as long as he's hugging a wall, he should be fine. And knowing that he's got 3 members hugging top side of the map, it's very easy for him to just play towards them.
I mean, to be honest, right, Koala's just ditched Shun and lane since level 4. Oh, Scout 2. Oh, nice flash. So he will link it out. Just try to put down a bit of AoE, but they know that the top side tier 2 is gone. They don't have the wave, but wait, and hope, does he want to go in?
I don't think so. They're just trying to give as much wave clear there as possible. They know the gold gap is a little bit hefty right now, as we can see the gold difference. I mean, it's just slowly climbed to just a little bit every 5 minutes, just a 2k. And right now it's sitting at 6k. And even though Dewish team were able to get that first dragon, which I think is really nice for them, right? Because it slows down the dragon stacking now that CFO do have a commanding lead. It's still not a great prospect for them. Bang 2 out in mid lane trying to catch farm.
The good thing for a Dewish team is that CFL don't quite have, set up around the dragon just yet. Of course, it's only spawning in around 2 minutes, but it would only be the second Ocean Drake of the game. So definitely the soul will be a bit delayed for this one. The thing is, I don't think CFL needs soul at all to win this one. It's gonna go straight for Baron. Early Baron at 21 minutes. They do have the Azir there, but DWT, they know what's up. They're already trying to flank.
Yeah, they were able to get vision. Mission hanging out on the other side.
Had no ward.
Koala and a teleport coming in. That's going to be a rest. So this is a big collapse coming in from CFO. Can they find the fight, and can Dewish team get out? They will be able to somewhat disengage, but the ult now comes in for rest. Once he jumps in, there's so much chaos ensuing as the map in the fight is just so split. They lose Lakunai on the back end, and now the flash forward comes in from Koala. Won't be able to find the kill onto Bang 2. Follow-up not quite there, and look at the power of the Sivir. Be able to get those bouncing blades with the Victor still alive. They're actually
quite so low. Out. And they're mad lads.
They still have the numbers advantage. They will still look to pull the trigger onto this Baron buff, but the question is, can they finish it off? Koala coming in, gets the flag, able to get the knock up onto Xiaotu, and Xiaotu will go down. And now Bang 2, he's hoping his support gets there in time, but it's not to be. It will be Baron secured by CFO as they go 4 for 1 and the Baron.
CFO just doing every single thing that they can right. We're going to take a look at the teamfight replay right now, and as you mentioned, Nightstar, just absolutely split fight. The funny thing for me is that CFO are actually so far ahead. Some of their members are just solo winning the 1v1s. There's WSL, but unfortunately they fall behind on Sinjao and can't really go in and create space. Lacune just losing 1v1 over to a mission over in the backside. At this point, Dewish team have already used all of their critical ultimates, and also CFO coming out of that one. They know that there's no more AoE danger from the squad of a Dewish team, so they can just take Baron easily without any fear. They don't have the Victor ult, they don't have the Gragas ult anymore, and even though they were low health, they were pretty much regenerating more health off of Baron as they took it. So now with the Baron buff, they've got top as well as mid pushing in for a Dewish team, and I just don't think that Dewish team have any more options left available for them. Gemini is just going to solo the Ocean Drake as well. I just already know what DWT can do. This is such aggressive positioning on the Azir, and like it doesn't even matter. DWT just can't punish this at all.
Yeah, and in fact, they're on the hunt. Koala's coming in.
Oh,
WSL,
man.
he should die, but let's keep him alive. Now the ultimate coming in on the hunt. They go in, and that's a whip from the barrel. And how the one big catch tool that they had does go way off. And that just might spell the beginning of the end. Bangtu still, of course, this is Crit Sivir, so she does clear waves exceptionally well, even against the Baron minions. And that will slow down one push, but the issue is there's multiple waves coming into Dewish team space.
Yeah, and how, and why, and what are you doing, man? Haven't seen the impact of this Gragas. We were kind of hopeful when we saw the Gragas being picked into the Oyster in the picks and bans. They just really
Xiaotu, he is caught out. He's gonna get
impact. Not
back
again.
and good night. Yeah, that's a lot of their damage gone, and that also means CFO looking to just straight up end the game. WSL jumps on in, doesn't have the ultimate to create any more space though, and that will be him to easily fall down here. And with this next wave of Baron minions, that could just spell the end of the game here, as Bangtu got a tall order, got to clear out everything, and Shun will slowly chip away the minions, and Hal jumps on in, and he takes a belly flop. And that's pretty much all she wrote. There is Bangtu just trying to get as much HP as possible to, I don't know, farm up the stats.
Get a bit of happy farm before he dies at the end. I mean, too tough for him to handle is the CFO squad as Mission has his ultimate. Once again, they're just having their stats, not even following through the mixes right there, and just taking a look at their player cams.